So the leader of Reform UK is here with me in the studio. Nigel Farage, welcome.
Good evening
to your show. Good to see you on it. You've been away for the weekend?
Yeah, quiet weekend away.
Photographed on social media.
I tell you what was really interesting was Mar-a-Lago yesterday. The biggest tech bosses in AI, in crypto, you name it, had flown in from all over the world to come and see Donald Trump. And there was an extraordinary moment. The owner of SoftBank, Mr. Sun, who gave a talk at the podium and said, I'm going to put $100 billion into the US economy. I'll employ 100,000 people between now and the end of this presidency. And Trump took the stage, didn't say thank you. He said, why not make it 200 billion?
Wow. Bidding up.
To which the SoftBank owner said, all right, I'll try and do that. He's a good negotiator, isn't he? Now, just think of that positivity. Yeah. Think of what's actually happening in America. And I got this from taxi drivers, from bar owners, whether they voted Trump or not, a feeling that the American economy, because of confidence, is about to boom. And you compare that to the misery and gloom we have in this country. I wanted to make that point because it really was fascinating to see it. So, yes, we had a meeting with Elon Musk.
That's you and your treasurer?
Myself and Nick Candy, my new treasurer, and I've met Musk before and we are in touch. And it's just so interesting listening to Ranel a moment ago. I mean,
there's a photograph there on screen of the meeting.
I mean, wake up and smell the coffee, chaps, you know. I mean, the Conservatives, listening to Ranel, it's like you know, we have a divine right to exist. Well, just because they've been here since 1834 doesn't mean they're going to be here in 5 years.
Well, Lord Glasner thinks you'll be the main challenger on the right, of course, the Labour period.
I think that's right.
I don't think it's just from the right. I
think this is a challenge. Yeah.
You want to nationalise water. You're aware of working class concerns about how unfair things are. Look, the Conservative Party are just regurgitated Thatcherism. Reform are beginning to move into a space where you're genuinely challenging.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think what's really interesting is there's momentum about reform. There's a buzz about reform.
To coin the phrase, momentum.
You know, well...
You haven't been tested in government, though.
Momentum's just shifted sides. Well, tested in government, this mob was tested for 14 years.
It's difficult. And you can offer easy... some are saying easy answers to difficult problems.
Well, I tell you what, if you promise net migration of tens of millions a year and give us 1 million... that isn't an accident. That is a total failure.
So using the internet without a VPN is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. We want to help protect you. This video's sponsor, Private Internet Access, is the VPN to help keep you safe. Now, you might be asking, what is a VPN? Well, a virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. This way, it shields your digital life from the eyes of those that are looking to exploit your private information. Whenever you connect to the internet on a public Wi-Fi network, such as at airports, coffee shops, friends' houses, or even in your own home, your data is at risk of being stolen. Hackers that are connected to the same Wi-Fi network have the ability to steal your personal data with ease. T-Mobile reached a settlement this year with the US Federal Communications Commission after they suffered data breaches in 2021, 22, and 23. In 2023 alone, over 37 million customers' data was exposed. And it's not just hackers to be concerned about. Information can be censored. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news content that you love. Private Internet Access is available for all platforms: Windows, macOS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one Private Internet Access subscription to protect an unlimited number of devices at the same time. Plus, we've got a huge GB News discount. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get 83% off PIA. That is under £2 a month, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. So head to piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
But you spoke to Elon Musk. The big chat here in Westminster while I've been away is reports of $100 million to your party. Has he pledged any money to... Are you in talks about a deal now?
That 100 million story, I mean, where the Sunday Times got that from, I have no idea. Probably some bloke...
So how much will it be then?
Probably some bloke down the pub.
You're in the pub all the time, could be you.
Well, I do keep my ears open, it's very important. No, look, there are two things we talked about. Number one, what really fascinated me were the margins by which Trump won in the 7 key swing states. And the person behind that was one Elon Musk. I spent an hour going through with him what his strategy was, how he got new voters registered that weren't on the electoral register, how he used various tech tools to get out the vote on the day. There's some revolutionary stuff here. And I'm pledged to professionalising reform. I took copious notes yesterday. I've learnt a huge amount.
And he will help, X will help reform UK at the election coming up.
He's already given me considerable help.
With targeting voters who can't
Understanding the process from start to finish, reaching disaffected communities who, frankly, feel there's no point voting for anybody, but just to get them to agree with you or to like me on TikTok or whatever, that just isn't enough. You've got to get them registered. You've got to know who they are. You've got to get them to vote. Inevitably, given all the press stories, we did discuss money. Now, that's a negotiation we will go back and have again. He is not against giving us money. He hasn't fully decided whether he will. If he does, it wouldn't be anything like the ludicrous telephone numbers quoted in the Sunday Times. But the most important thing is this. This is what Musk said to me. He said, British politics now has a uni-party. There is very little to choose between the Labour and Conservative parties. And he genuinely fears that the mother country of the English-speaking world is frankly going down the tubes. And he agrees Britain needs reform. He is right behind me.
7-figure sum? 6-figure sum?
Well, who's to say? Wait and see how this all ends up. But he has not closed his mind towards helping us in any way that he can.
Now, the government is looking, isn't it, at dealing with foreign influence in our elections. They're ruling out a cap on donations, but they are concerned about foreign influence in elections and our democratic process. He's from South Africa, but lives in America. He'd be right in the crosshairs. Will there be a battle between the government and Elon Musk if he tries to help you?
Well, the real scandal is how many people have given 5 million quid to the Labour Party or Conservative parties and now pack the benches of the House of Lords. Why not talk about that? And the point is, whether Musk is South African by birth and now American by citizenship, if he has companies in the UK trading legitimately, employing people, paying taxes, he's fully entitled to give.
So have you checked that? He can donate legally, can he, in the UK, using his UK interests?
There are lots of UK companies that donate to British political parties whose original owners are not from this country. And frankly, I can't see that law changing.
You were filmed in a vote last week talking to Sir Keir Starmer in the House of Commons. What were you talking about? Do you want to help him out with getting close to Donald Trump?
So look, I think you've got the photographs of me with JD Vance.
Yeah,
yesterday.
So you also met with Team Random, JD Vance.
I met with JD. Now, I've known JD since 2012. I knew him way before he was getting into politics. He's a friend of mine. I spent quite a lot of time with him. And, I've known him for 14 years. Kemi Badenoch's known him for a fortnight. Nobody in the Labour Party knows him at all.
There's a picture now of JD Vance before meeting you, Nigel Farage.
Slightly different style of photograph, I have to say. Now, the point I've made, and the point I've made to Starmer and to others, is because of the tariff battle that is coming, and we know that Trump uses tariff to try and gain all sorts of other concessions. He's very, very good at this. We are potentially going to get caught in the crosshairs of aligning more closely with the European Union, which, in my view, is a pretty foolish economic thing to do. All I've said is I would help this government with contacts. It isn't just Trump and JD. Half the cabinet I know and are friends of mine. If I could do that...
There you are on the screen now. You're talking now with the PM.
Yeah. If it's in the national interest, right, to do it, absolutely, I will do it. No question about it. I don't support Keir Starmer's government, but I do support us having good trade links with America. I do believe that without America, we are frankly defenceless as a nation. This relationship matters.
And just finally, do you think chatting with Elon Musk, getting close to him, might put off some of the voters that Maurice Darson was talking about, some of the Labour voters, or they couldn't care less, maybe?
Elon Musk is one of the most admired people in the world. And let me tell you, virtually everybody under 30 thinks the guy is a hero and one day might send them for a trip to Mars. This is a gigantic inspirational figure.
Well, it's very good to hear Nigel that you're behaving as a patriot, recognising the national interest. I think that the election, Donald Trump's election, you can only call it magnificent. I mean, it's an extraordinary... And if you look at the working class vote, it swung in every area.
He's a foreign
and
billion...
it was an absolute rejection of the previous economic idea of globalisation.
Yes.
I mean, these tariffs are not just a bluff. And it's absolutely vital for our national interest, Chopper, that we cement that relationship with the United States. I'm also going to the inauguration, by the way.
I'll see you there.
And did you see Trump, though, when you were in Mar-a-Lago?
No, he was wall-to-wall meetings,
Okay.
and we didn't even attempt to. Frankly, I mean, as I say, some of the names that were there are not yet public, but if you think of the biggest business owners and tech owners in the world, virtually every one of them was at Mar-a-Lago yesterday.
The court of Donald Trump.
Well, it is almost like the court of Henry VIII. I mean, it is quite extraordinary.
It's more French. It's Louis XVI.
Well, it's Versailles.
Wrong court. Is it a wrong court? Nigel, go back to the
Nigel Farage and the panel runs our order, Lord Glassman. Thank you for joining us. Now,